And this time I want to have a detailed report. Just like double click and just say detail report. So now I'll show you something interesting. So please understand what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to create that department wise. Let's do year first. Year wise grouping. Year wise grouping. So you know how many years I have? Only 2. So 2019, 2020. Year wise grouping, and in each year how departments are doing with the salary. So that's what I want to do. So please understand what I have data, but my manager asked, show me 2019, each department, how much salary we paid. Okay, how do I do that? Very simple. You are in a transform, you select group by. Transform, you select group by. First of all, when should I use group by? Whenever you want to aggregate something. Example, max, mean, sum. If anything you want to aggregate, you do group by. So if I do group by, so now I will select advanced, because in basic you can group by only one column. In advance you can use multiple column and you can do nice detailed report. So I'm going to select advanced. Now see here, magic. It's which one is the first column. So I'm going to select year. So select year, add group, click on here, add group. Then say which is the second column. So I'll say department. And let's say add group. And then let's say I want to have a gender. And now, so what will happen? Our report will be like year, each year, like a year is definitely 2019 and 20. And inside that, I will have a department. And in department, I will have a gender, male and female. And in that, I will have a salary. Now, I want to have a maximum salary. I want to have minimum salary. I can select here, whatever I want. So let's say I want to do sum. And I'll say total salary. Total salary. And the column which I'm going to use is a salary column. So please understand. First of all, you need to have mental model when you are doing this activity. Mental model means what is going to happen 2019, then your department, and each department you will have male or female, and then salary. So it's a nice report you can do quickly without even writing a single line of code, and ready to go. Okay. And you see nice report. Question, concerns, doubt. Any questions so far?
Question.
Yes. Sorry? No question or question? I'm not able to hear you.
No question.
Oh, no question. Sorry. Everyone is able to get it? Now, let's go back to our employee. Now, let's say I want to have a need that I want to have a first letter from here and then combine with this. So I want to have first letter from this and then combine. Sometimes people write T Patel, right? Normally people write that. So how do I write that? How do I do something like that? Remember, if you want to do good reporting, you need to know how to transform the data. So right now we have data. You know that there is no first character. So we need to do that. So how do we do that? So we click here, click on the column, and go to extract. So you can see here, extract here, extract. So again, from first, select the first column and we are going to do extract. So we're going to extract. So we'll say first character. You can also select how many character you want. You can say how many character limit. You can do all those interesting things. Trust me, when you are really doing the work, your data may have a very weird problem And if you use this tool right, you can solve the problem. So right now I want to have first character, so I extract, and I say first character. And you say, how many you want? So I say first. Can I do 2? Yeah, you can do 2, but I just want first character. So if you want a 5 character, you write 5 here. So it will take 5 then. So I say first character, and I say, okay. And now first character is extracted. So you can see now I have first character extracted. Make sense? Now I want to merge these 2 columns. I want to merge these 2 columns. So first of all, I got a first character. Now I want to merge that. So you can hold these 2 columns together. Like you can hold shift, shift, you hold that, shift, shift, you hold them. So you hold both columns. And now you can click on merge column, merge column. So if you do merge column, instantly it will give you how you want to merge. Do you want to have something? So there are options available. So let's say I want to have a maybe a colon, comma, equal sign, space. Let's do space is fine. Space. So it will say a space like that. Space is fine. So select that. And you say, okay. Now you can see now your column merged. So the 2 columns are gone. Now you have A10. Very simple. Give me thumbs up if you are able to do so. Right? Awesome. Now, few more and we'll take a break. Now let's say I want to remove first 6 rows or some rows. Then same concept. You are going to home menu, and you have options here, remove rows. Now you have removed top rows. So how many rows you want to remove top? So you can click on remove top rows, and it asks me how many rows you want to remove. Let's say I want to remove 5 rows. So I'll say 5. So it will remove 5 first rows from top. And if you say okay, the 5 row will be gone. So you can see 5 gone. Sometimes you might have something you want to select like that. You can select like by shift. You can select rows like, and say my cursor is here, right? And I want to remove from here or from here. You can do that also. So example, my cursor is here and I can say remove, see here, remove bottom rows, alternate rows, and all kind of things. You can do that part also. Again, choice is yours. You can say keep, right? Keep top 5 rows. It means you're deleting rest of the rows. Again, you can do that part also, right? Now, interesting thing. For a second, please pay attention. For a second, if I bring these items to desktop, then these are, each one is a table. So in desktop, I'm going to get this all as a 4 tables. Though I had original 1 table, but I'm going to bring desktop as a 4 table. Now, before you bring to the table, just want to make sure you understand names are proper. Names are proper, right? And the columns are proper. And make sure there is no null, there is no empty, there is no bad data. Now, if you see here, close and apply, if you do so, this all 4 table will go to Power BI desktop. So let's do that. So you click on close and apply, or just apply, but I'm going to do close and apply. So if you do close and apply, all 4s will go back to Power BI desktop. It will take a minute and you will see all in Power BI desktop. And you will see all 4s in Power BI desktop. So whatever work you have done, it's visible here. Whatever work you have done visible. And please understand, the reason I was transforming, this is the column, not a value. So this is now totally different thing than what I was doing. So all the transform I did, it's now column. Look at that, how beautiful my columns are. The way I want, it's there. So I can now do whatever analysis I want. However, if I realize I made a mistake, can I go back? Answer is yes. Anytime you want to go back, there are a couple of ways you can go back. The easy way to go back is you right click on that. You right click on that. Any data, you right click and just say edit query. If you do edit query, you will go back to Power BI query. So it's not like end of the world. You can edit query and you have data, all data will be visible. So Power BI query always have data because Power BI query bring this pivot in memory. So Power BI query always have a hand of memory. So please understand, whatever you have done, it's always available. It's not you're losing. You always come back to Power BI query from Power BI desktop. So whatever you have done, if you want to go back, you just right click and you will go to right click and go to edit query and you can go back to Power BI query. Now, $1 million question before we take a break. Please understand what happened because now you have two model, Power BI query and Power BI desktop. So if I have removed row here, I remove row here, what will happen here? Will I get all or I will only see removed rows? What will happen? Will I get all rows here or I'll get only rows which I see in a Power BI query?
I think it will be removed there on the desktop. You'll only get what's in
Very
the
nice.
query.
Correct answer. Second answer. This is also interview and exam. Listen carefully. If this data is coming from Excel file, coming from CSV, coming from database, if you delete this data, original data, source, you delete the source and you are refreshing, what will happen? You delete the source. You delete the source and you're refreshing.
Usually, if you change source and refresh, then you will see changes. But I'm not sure if you delete, maybe you will not have data.
You're absolutely right. So if you please understand two questions. Original Excel file, which I use it. If I delete the Excel file, see, if I delete right now, see, let me just show you. Not just, this is my file. So not this one, sorry. I want you to see this, okay? Don't worry about it. I'm just keeping a backup and I'm deleting this thing, okay? I deleted this. You don't delete, okay? You don't delete. So right now, everything is working. There is no problem. Everything is working. But now you can see here, it started sensing it. It started sensing it. The data seems like source has a problem. So what happened? It sensed that original data are no longer available. So why am I getting this data? Because it's in memory. But it's saying that I cannot now refresh. But if I go to home here, and if I say, you know what, I want to refresh this thing. So if I refresh, what will happen? Check it out. First, what will happen here? And my desktop. So in desktop, if I right click here, and if I say refresh data, check it out, what happened? It's tried to give error because the file is not found. Okay. Now, if I go back to here in Power BI query, and if I say refresh my view, I won't be, sorry, this is close. If I go back to my Power BI query, and if I try to refresh, I get an error. Remember this thing. You can see the data, but you will not be able to refresh the data if your original data is gone. So this will be a question in your exam for tonight also. Are we clear? But what if I bring the data back? So like example, my original data, let's say I bring my data back. So I double duplicated. So I'm bringing my data back, same data. Okay. I bring it back. Now I'm in Power BI. And if I refresh it, refresh all, right? It is trying to refresh. If it is finding exactly match, see what happens. In that situation, it is bringing, but it's still having some kind of detection that there is something wrong happen. But now if I go back to my Power BI desktop, right? And if I refresh now, right? Refresh data, then it is able to refresh it. So what I'm trying to say that important point, if I'm working in Power BI query, my data is, let's say, X, and these are dummy data. And I'm doing that. But then if I have production and there is a X, and if I refresh with that, all things will work the way I want. So even though you are working on a dummy data, as long as your file and your columns are same, if I replace that, then everything will work just like that. So this is called toggling the source. So when you are doing work, when you are doing the work, you might be touching the dev database, development database. But when you are working on a real, you might be touching production database. Makes sense? So production, as long as table name is same, column is same, you just need to do refresh and it will work. Right? We'll discuss more. Awesome. Thank you guys. Thank you. So now let's do, we have, honestly speaking, we have covered like 50%. There's so many things to do. Okay, it's so much. So we'll do something next week also, but now I want to show you something interesting. Before we took a break, I was talking about refresh, and I want to worth repeating that. If you are doing work in a query, if source which you use for this reporting, if somebody delete the source, and if you don't have a source, then anytime you do refresh, you will get an error. But if somebody change the source, as long as the table name is same, as long as the column name is same, but if data is different, it will work. It will just work. Make sense? So if somebody asks in an interview, what if I add new data in a source? And if I refresh, will it load the new data? Yes or no? What do you guys think?
Yes.
Good. Now, the best thing which I want to cover, which you will like it, interview question and guaranteed question in the exam. You have to pay a little attention because what I'm going to show you, something you will love it. So this is called ETL steps. These are steps, and these are independent steps. It doesn't need to be this order. You can change the order also. Like example, if you like this step, if you want to further, you can drag and drop. The steps are anytime, these are all independent. But when you are writing these steps, what happens, each step, there is a small VBA code is written. Okay. Now, please understand what I'm going to explain. Let's say I am Joe and I'm doing my reporting through database table and I'm in a dev environment, Excel and all. I'm doing all those work in Power BI query. So I was doing Power BI query, and Steve, my friend, he is doing the work and he has access to the production data. He has access to production data. And we all know, both of us, we know the table name, column name is matching. So he wants me to help him because Steve wants to get my work. And this is where Power BI versus Tableau is quite different. So what happened is Power BI gives you all the steps which I did, which is written in a macro, which we call M code. Microsoft code, that's what they call. These things, if I give you to Steve, within a second, Steve will do all the things which I was able to do. And this thing, what I have done here, I can also put in a source code. So tomorrow, if I want to add something, change something, I can do it. So it's not a Tableau where all manual work is in file. Here, these are code. This is the code. And this code, you can email, You can put it in some kind of file. So next day you can use it, or you can give it to someone, you can modify, you can change it and all. So how do you do that? So you're going to do practice with me. Okay. But before we do practice, any question with the concept? Everyone
I have
understand?
one question.
Sure.
So it's program code, it knows the file, original file name.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. What if you forgot the name of this file? Or it's not always
No, program has written the file name. So if you change the file name, you can change that. You can edit that. It's a program. You can
No,
edit
but if I forgot and I supposed to, oh, yeah, I mean, where is this? Where is the file name where I can find the original file name or change the file name?
I will show you.
It's in navigation, applied steps and navigation. It will show the name.
No, I'll show you. Everything I'll show you. But first of all,
question.
Yes.
How do I differentiate between VBA code and M code?
No, there's nothing differentiate. And you don't have to
Both are same?
differentiate. They are not same, but you don't have to differentiate because you are not going to use VBA. Because Power BI, there is no concept called VBA, right? I'm just telling you in old fashion. In old fashion, people used to use VBA. In Power BI, we call M code. What we call M code. And M code, I'm going to show you.
Okay.
No one use VBA. And if you're using VBA now, it's just like you're riding bicycle, right? There's a Mercedes available. Why not to use Mercedes? I'll show you how easy it is. You will love it. This is what make Power BI is a real Power BI. Because remember, I was doing all work in my local environment or development environment. Now I want to give it to other team member, all my work. So how do I give it? You all will follow the flow. But please understand, this is guaranteed question in your exam. How do you distribute the work? Because should you give template? Should you give a PBIX file? No, PBIX file you are not going to give. You are going to give code, and the code is M code. And how are you going to give? So let's follow the flow. In order for us to do, please understand, my step is this much. And if I give my code to all of you, you will be able to reproduce exactly the same thing what I have within a second. Okay, you can also follow. So first of all, click on Advanced Editor. I'm in a home menu. Click on Advanced Editor. Okay, so if I click on Advanced Editor, this is the code. So here, Irina, file name is written. So even you forget, you can easily modify that. And this entire code, Murthy, you can understand, right?
Yeah.
So ideally, this is the code, and we don't have to edit this. If you want to edit, you can. So like example, somebody say, you know what, I changed the first name to this. You can change it because this is text. It's a code, but it's an English code. So what you can do here, you can click on the drop down box, and you can do enable word wrap. So click enable word wrap. So it is more readable, right? It is more readable. Now this code, I do Control A. So you can copy that. Control A means select all, and then Control C. Control A, Control C. So first Control A means select all, and Control C means copy. Control A means select all, and Control C means copy. Now I'm gonna put it somewhere in a notepad or somewhere, so at least I can see that how it looks. So you can see everything started with this thing, right? All those things I have done. So wherever I have done, whatever the work I have applied, it's all here. So let's see how it goes. So we'll see about that. Okay. Now, at least I copy in my notepad. I hope you also copied. Now I'm going to do cancel. Ready? At this moment, let's say these steps which I have, I'm going to remove one by one, select all, and just remove all. Just remove that steps. So whatever steps, just keep the source, keep up to change type, and then remove all the steps which you did. Just one by one, just delete that step. Just want to show you something. So delete that. So I kind of deleted whatever thing I wanted to do. So I just started deleting that. Okay. So you can delete or you can start over whatever work. I want to show you deleted. So all the steps which I did, I deleted here. Let me see if I can delete this way also. This is easy. You just click, 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 and it's deleted. So up to this, I deleted. So this is my original file. Good. Everyone is good. Now click on Advanced Editor. So it will have a limited code now because this is when we started. Now select it here, delete this thing and paste your code. Control A, Control C, and paste this code. And it will do exactly the same thing for you and done. Everything is taken care. All things. If I give my code, it will work just like that. So you can use this thing. See, right away, all steps apply. So what I'm trying to say, this is shareable code now. If tomorrow, let's say Irina give me file clean data one, I can do one here and I can do, if C change some column, I can modify and I can come here, Control C, and I can paste here in editor and boom, I will not lose that. In Tableau, you don't have a way to store these steps at this moment, at least. In Power BI, all steps are there. And time travel, this is called time travel. So you can repeat, redo, remove everything you have here. This is not a programming, these are called script. So you're changing only column name and all. Most of the time what happened in table, you change column name or you change the table name, you can just literally change here. There's nothing special here because this is just a text. How hard it is to change. Somebody say, hey, I changed the first name to last name. Oh, how hard it is. You are not writing too much. So M code is shareable, and because of M code, now you can put it in source code. So you can maintain the version week by week. So you will never lose your reporting work. And you can share among friends, among group, among environment. And this is one of the big thing M code is. That's the reason people ask, how do you share your work? M code. You don't have to do anything. The data file will change because development environment versus production environment file will be different, but the step which you did will remain same. Any questions?
Is there some way you can just export the code and then check it into a code repository, or is there even a
Absolutely.
plugin to something like that?
You can do that through Git. So you have to do Git in order to do that Git. So you can put this source code in a Git. I don't think the software right now, I don't think this current software has any Git integration as such. So it doesn't have that you can do checking, check out. At this moment, I don't think they have it, but that's a good point.
But you don't want to have to go to advanced editor and copy and paste all the time. So is there an export?
No. This is
So you literally have
this,
to
this
copy and
is
paste out of advanced editor every time you want.
this is like a secret on that. Okay, this is the secret, but you only do finished good, right? Not every day, but finished good. When you are done with your work, right? This you want to port your work, right? That's a finished good. So of course, if you make a change, so you can do that. So there are way people do, like, they create a code in a Git and you put in a Git and I can get from Git. So that we can do that type of thing. But yeah, this is they don't have that sophisticated, like where you export and import like that at this moment. Good so far? Okay. Now I want to go back to desktop. Let's go to desktop. We brought this table. When we bring this table, what happened? Model, go to model. Model is automatically created. So you check it out, model. Model automatically created with the relationship. See, some relationship is automatically created. And the reason we are able to do, And Thomas, this is the reason I was explaining, my friend. This is a column, so I can set a relationship. This is only possible if it is a column. And that's why I was trying to explain why this is the difference. Filter, you cannot do that. Filter apply on the data, column apply in a relationship. So this is the reason.
Right.
This
Right.
is, yeah.
If we only had one table and wanted to be lazy, you could do it as a report, but
Yes.
that won't get you very far.
Yeah. So in a data perspective, this model automatically created. Again, we are not spending time right now on model. Model will cover next week, but I just want to make sure at the end of the day, data comes here. Let's say if you want to make mistake again, you made a mistake, right click, go to edit, and then you can start over. Anytime you make a change in a Power BI query, you need to make sure you do close and apply. If you do close and apply, it will come. Yeah. Now let's take a scenario. Scenario number one, we have class 1 and class 2. So we have student in class. Now I want to know what is my total student. So this total means I want to add that. So this concept add, it's called append. I want to know total student. So append. Or sometimes I will have class 1 student and I will have, let's say, visitor or inquiry. So class 1 is a student and inquiry. They both have a column called email. So I want to know how many inquiry converted as a student, right? So this kind of thing, if you want to do, it's called merge. So what is merge? Merge means you bring columns. You bring columns from two different tables. And append means you bring rows. So you add a rows. So when you do append, rows will be increased. When you do merge, if you do merge, you are adding columns. Yes, Ruchi.
Is it like SQL joins?
Yes, it is a kind of join, inner join. It is a join. I'm going to show you. So it will be easier. We'll do a tiny exercise. See, guys, I'm teaching you concept. The only thing will be different is data, but concept will remain same. So right now, we can create a small table to prove this concept. So let's get started. So first thing first, I'm still in Power BI query because there are a lot to cover in Power BI query. Something I'll cover next week, but trust me, my goal is not to cut. My goal is to make sure we concentrate on item because this is beautiful, because once you know cleaning, then you can do reporting, which we will be covering next 2-3 weeks. But cleaning part, I want to make sure I do majority part today. Now here, if you are in home menu, there is a concept called enter data. So this allows me to create a temporary table. So I'm going to create temporary table. It's in memory table. These are physical table, means I imported a file, but I'm going to create a temporary table. Try to understand the concept of merging and append. So let's do it. So right now, let's click on enter data. See, I'm trying to follow the simple step and create a simple table so you can easily understand. So let's click on enter data. Because you already know the classroom setup. So we are going to create table as a class A. This is, sorry, class A. Now double click on column 1 and I will say ID. And double click here and we'll say, let's say first name. We keep it lowercase, first name. And here say 1 and we'll say Tom. Press enter. 2, let's say Mike, and say 3. And let's say, Kevin. So these are my one table, class A. So I have two column, ID and first name, and table name is class A. It will be visible here. So if I say okay, it is visible here. So you can see class A added. Now let's add another table. So I'll say enter data, enter data. Now I'll create a class B, sorry, class B. And here I'll say again, same column, ID. And here I'll say, what was the second column was? First one, what was name or what was the column? first. So let's do first. And let's do last also. Just for concept only. Let's say here,
Sorry, how did you get the second table?
same, after I completed that, I click on enter data. And then I write a class B. And I'm writing the column name. Same concept as the class one. When we did class A, after I complete the record, I did OK. Right?
Is this kind of similar to Visio in a way?
No, Visio is a drawing. This is the really we are going to do data. So Visio is kind of picture drawing. You're drawing picture. Here we are going to do data. So it's more similar to SQL join. Database join.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought like the creating the tables. Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm. Now I'm going to add a couple of rows here. So I'll say 1, and let's say this is Tom, and this is Smith. And let's say 2, let's say Mike, let's say William. And let's say this is number 4, and Ryan, and Smith. And let's say 5, Amy, Smith, right? So I have more record in this table. However, I have more column also this table. Trying to give a concept, okay? In a real life, you will get data because when you do project, you will have data from various source. They might have different column, but there may be a column which is matching. So you can see I have a column which is matching ID, ID. These are matching. So using that, I'll do matching. Now do OK. So you have 2 table. What happened with my, yeah, I have 2 table, class A, class B. Class A has 2 column and class B has 3 column. Give me thumbs up if you are with me so far. Good. Some reason I'm not seeing thumbs up, but I'm hoping you're giving thumbs up. So, okay, perfect. Now we are going to learn something called this one. So you can see carefully. This is I'm in a home and I have these 2 things I'm going to learn. You have to be careful because when you do it, sometimes it takes time, but it's not that complex. It's easy. So first I'm going to do append. Append means your table 1 plus table 2. That's append means. And when you do that, you will have a total. You can create a new table. So I can create a new table or I can replace existing table. A choice is mine. I'm going to create a new because I don't want to disturb my original table. So right now I'm going to click on tiny arrow. And when I click on tiny arrow, I have append query as a new. So I'm going to click on this one. So it will create a new table. So click on that. Now I have options to select. I can append multiple tables at once, 2 or 3 table I can do, or 5 table, not a problem. So right now I have 2 tables. So for that, it automatically select a class B. So I'm going to select class A here. So let's select class A. So you can see here, I selected this and this. Now it's going to create plus whatever rows I have here, it will combine and create a new table. So if I click on OK, you will see that it will create a new table and you can see that. So it took the first 3. This is coming from A table and this is coming from B table. Give me thumbs up if you are able to see that. Good. So what append does, append just add. So you might see that, okay, this was, yeah, I understand. And I also understand. But what about this null? Because the first table did not have this column. So when this did not have a column, it adds null for you. So you can see that if somebody give you, like example, use case, I'm giving you use case. If somebody give you data like day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6 to 30 days. And if you want to create a monthly report, you might want to do that, combine daily and then create a monthly report. Or somebody give you monthly and you say, create yearly report. This way you can combine, append, and you can do that. Any questions so far? Easy, append is easy. So now the question is how merge works. So let's do it. So in this case, I'm going to click on this one and we'll create a new table. So it will be fun. So merge query. So if I click on merge query, so if I click on merge query, you can pick up first table. So first table I selected class A, and select the second table I select class B. So I have selected two tables, class A and class B. Now you need to select which is a common column between these things. So you click on just ID, so it will select the column, and you click on this. So you're saying these two tables had this column common. So you select that. So class A has ID, class B has ID. Now you're trying to do join, just like a database, like that. But you are not writing command. So this is A and this is B. Now you can say, do you want inner join or do you want a left outer join? Means get everything and matching from this, or you want to get this. So you can select all. So check it out. So your options available. This kind of thing impossible to do in Excel. So first of all, you can say left outer join, means get all from left. When I say left outer, get all, and whichever is matching, get matching record from this. So let's do it so you can see that. So I do left outer join. So please understand, when I say left outer join, I'm focusing first table, which is this. So I will get 3 rows and then matching rows. So I will see Smith here. I will see William here, and Kevin is not here. So that's it. So matching, sorry, Kevin, I will see only Kevin, and rest of the things I'll get null. So check it out. I'm selecting this table ID, this table ID.
I'm on.
Any question? We have new members taking training. Hello, let me mute. Just want to make sure we don't record the session. So, okay. So please understand. We are going to select the left side and bringing that. So left side, if I select left, means I will get 3 rows. Let's do it so you can understand. We'll do a couple of times. So I'm doing left outer join. So if I do OK, all of the first matching and from second. So all from here. So 3 and matching from here. So I'll say Smith and William I'll get it. Check it out. OK. And the merge. So you can see here, I got all from left, and here I got this symbol. I just need to click on this symbol. So if I click on this symbol, it will give me that from other table. Please understand, from other table, what you want to bring it. So let's say I want to bring only last. So I'll uncheck all, keep last. So uncheck all, and just keep last. Let me repeat again. You just click on this symbol, and from this symbol, this is a B table. What column you want from B table? Because ID and first, anyhow, first table has. I want only last. So you can see now I can get matching last from other table, and when the matching is not there, I get a null. Makes sense or no? Because in A table I had ID and I had a name. In B table I had ID, I had name, first name and last name. So I got last name when there were matching. Whenever there is a matching, I got last. But when for Kevin, there was no matching, there was no number 3. So I got null. Let's do one more time. So go to merge query and let's do new. This time,
I have a question.
Sure.
I'm sorry to interrupt. What happened to Ryan and Amy?
That's what I'm saying, my friend, because I selected the first table. A table has only 3. The B table has Ryan. So Ryan is a B table. So A table, this was like this, A, then B. So left table was 3 record. So you got all from left. And I'm going to show you how now Ryan think. If I want to focus on this table, then I need to take this table as the main table. I'll show you that. So please follow, you will see that. So right now I'll go to merge query. Sorry, my mistake. Merge query as new. Merge as a new. Merge query as a new. And when you say merge query as a new, if I click on that, this time I have to decide, do I want to take a small table or big table? So let's say I want to take a class B, where I want to focus on all those rows and matching rows from this one. So what we are saying here, get me all this, get me all this, and get me only matching from here. So basically you are selecting like that way. So whatever table you select here, that become a left. The first one will be left, second will be right. So if I want all record from here, now if I do this thing, then it will get me all 5 and matching from here, but there is no additional column. So will I get number 3? I won't get number 3. You know why? Because I'm focusing on here. So I have 1, Tom Smith, it's already there. Mike is there. So still I'll get all record from here, but there is no additional record here. So what we are trying to do here is depend on which table you want to focus. You get all from this table and matching from other table. Are you understanding? So previous example, what I have done is I selected class A. So when I did class A, it got me all record from class A and matching record from class B. Makes sense or no? And then you pick whichever join you want. If you want only inner join means only which are common, you select common. So in that case, I will see only this 2. Make sense? So it depends on which table you are keeping first, that become left, and which table you are selecting, that's become a right. Now you have to ask yourself question, do you want inner section? If yes, you select inner section here. If you say you want to get all from left side, you select this side. Or if you say all from right, then you select right side. So your options are here. So if you do right outer join, it means you are going to get all from here and matching from here. Any questions so far? Right? So if I do inner join, what should I expect? If I do okay, what should I expect?
Only what's on both tables.
Absolutely. Now if I select right outer join, what should I expect? How many rows I will see?
5 rows.
Perfect. You understood. Makes sense or no? This is very useful. Why? Because when you do reporting, your data will be disconnected. Your data will be disconnected. And when data is disconnected from this table, you want to get a couple of column. For this, you want to get a couple of column. From this, couple of column. So if you want to do a couple of column and create a new table, you can do it if you know this join part. So merge allows you to select column from various sources and create a table, and that table you bring it to Power BI desktop. It will be more productive. Otherwise, you will not be able to do detailed report analysis. So when you do project, you need to understand this feature, merge feature is very helpful because your data might be disconnected. So like example, in our case, IT expert, right? We have one table student, just an example. Student, one is instructor, one is course, one is enrollment. Student has, let's say, education. Instructor has, let's say, phone number. Course has a name and fees. And enrollment has a date. So I want to select only this column and create a new. I can do that if I select this way. Make sense? So how you do that? So very simple. That is a little technique. You first do 2 table, right? And get join. Then use this and do the third one. So you have to do like series of steps in order to get. It's not going to happen in one like that, because here you have only one option available. So you're selecting, but if you do merge, append like that, so you can whatever you like, I'll show you. So whatever you do that, there is a new table added, use this table and then try to use other, then use new table and try to do, and that way you can create a nice sequential join. Many people say, why would I do in Power BI query? Why can't I do in Power BI desktop? See, Power BI desktop is pretty busy tool because you are doing a lot of reporting and you don't want to spend time there. It's always good to do data processing close to the data. Ideally, we should do it data source level or Power BI query level. If you do it Power BI desktop, then performance will suffer. Performance will suffer. So your goal is to make sure you do all at Power BI query level. So when you go to Power BI desktop, you get a nice, beautiful report. Okay. So right now I'm going to do right outer join. Make sure you select the column. Both side columns should be selected. Once you select it, you do okay, and boom, you will get this result. Any question, concerns, doubt?
When we create class A and class B, how I can add extra row to one of these?
No, you
Because
cannot.
I created two lines different this, so
Yeah.
it doesn't make
Yeah.
sense. No.
Yeah. So
I try to find it.
yeah. So that is, I think you are bringing a very good point. So first of all, please understand, Power BI is a read-only software. Read-only software. It does not edit any data. It's a read-only. But there is a technique. There is a technique you can do. So technique number one is like that. So you come here, right? Let's say this table you have, right? So this table, you can select this thing like this table, and whatever you from here, whatever you copy, right? You copy this thing table, like let's example here, let's say I say advanced editor. I copy this thing. Now, whatever I have done here, right? Whatever I have done here, not here, 1 second. This is just a column type. It didn't copy here, 1 second. This way. You can, there's a technique. You can copy this thing, 1 second. I'll show you. And then bring in Excel and then you modify. That's the only way you can do that. There is no other options available at this moment because this is considered as a read only, not like a, what do you call, thing. You cannot edit that. That's another problem. So Power BI is a read-only software. It's not allowing editing part. So I saw your problem. That is almost everyone has that problem. You cannot edit because it's a read-only. But there is a techniques. Let me just apply here. So I'll show you something. I'm going to do apply. So when I apply, my model will update. Check it out. So my model will update. Now I go back to my, let's say I click on the merge one, sorry, class A, right? Go to grid. Where is the class A? Grid. Now here, second, you can export or copy. That's the one. I have done this thing. 1 second. Export or, oh, sorry. If I can, it's selecting everything here. Escape. Let's see if I can. You guys can also find, if you find quickly.
Okay, you know what? I think to shout, if you go back to query. Go back to query.
Okay, let me edit that. Okay.
And click on the table that you want to copy.
Mm-hmm.
And click on the top left corner on that icon, the table icon.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this one?
Yeah, and it says
yeah,
copy
that's
entire.
yes. Now you can, perfect. Now that's what. Now you go to Excel, Irina, and then you can create a CSV file. I'll show you. So I can paste it here now. Now let's say I add a 4, and that's Steve, and let's say 5, Mary, and 6 I added, right? Now Mike. So I can do that. Now if I save this file, save as, right? And I save this file in my local machine because right now I'm using OneDrive. I don't want to store on OneDrive. So I'll put it in a maybe my download folder. So I put a download folder, and let's say I say class C in my download folder. Okay. So I did that. Now I should be able to do that. So here I come here and then I click on new source. Sorry, come on. Yeah. And I can go to Excel workbook and then I can bring that table, whichever I have downloaded. So right now my class C, and this way you can bring it. So you need to do trick like that. And then see, I can get the data, all data came, check that, and I can bring it to here. So this is where you can do that. And then whatever you
Thank
want.
you.
Yep, good. Okay. Now one more thing before we do other activity. This is also very important question. Power BI always have a reporting, and reporting going to bulky. So one thing I want you to see here, first feel it, so you will remember lifetime. Okay, feel it. Okay, ready? See, I'm in Power BI. I'm going to click here, see what happens. Okay, I'm going to click here, see what happens. I see here, right? And apply changes. See what happens. It loads everything. Okay. Now, let's say I do something. I go to Power BI query. Let's say I just change the name, double click, and I'll say first name, just something I did. See what I do? Close apply. Okay. Now see what happened. Check again. See what happened. So what did you notice? What is happening right now? You're not getting? Let me do one more time. I go back to Power BI query, right click. Doesn't matter what I do. Doesn't matter what I do. Please see here. Let's say I double click here and I can say student ID. I change just like anything I change, anything I do. I'm going to do close and apply. Now see what happened. See here. It is refreshing. Do you see that? It is keep refreshing the model. So if you have hundreds of table, what will happen? Will it be faster or refresh will take a lot of time?
Refresh will take longer.
Considerably.
Yeah. So that's the reason they ask in interview, how do you improve performance? So there is a small technique you apply, you can improve performance. So now let me show you. I go to Power BI query. Let me go back to right click, edit query. And I'll rename that column name because it's supposed to be ID. Now you guys can also do right click on any table, and there is an options here, include in report refresh. If you uncheck that, uncheck all. So you can uncheck all one by one. So uncheck all. Okay. Just keep one check, but otherwise keep all unchecked. So right now I'm going to keep one like the merge one. I'll keep and rest uncheck. Okay. Include report uncheck. So only merge. If you want to uncheck that unmerge, that also fine. We can keep employee only. So I'll remove that and just keep employee maybe included. So now all those tables I have say don't include, only keep employee. Now see what happened. You have to carefully see, otherwise you won't notice that. Okay. I have uncheck everything. If you say class 1, uncheck. Class B, uncheck. Now I am applying. So check it out. Okay. I'm applying. Ready, set, go. And now see what happened. It did not took my effect yet. 1 second. Okay, sorry. Yeah, it did affect, but now I'm going to refresh here. Now let's see here. I'm going to refresh here. Okay. Ready? See here. Did you notice that?
Yeah, only employee was refreshed.
Exactly. So this way you can do better job in a modeling. Otherwise, you will waste a lot of time. And trust me, I'll tell you honestly, when you work on a Power BI, you will have not 10, not 20, sometimes hundreds of tables. So you need to be careful. Every minute lost is a lot of loss. So you make sure you uncheck. It's kind of small thing, but it get better performance. Second thing, go back to right click on any table and go to edit query. There is another options available for, to understand how things going. So if you can click on a view, you can see here, there is a concept called query dependency. So you can see how the query dependency is there. So you can see overall like this entire view of your query dependency. So if you feel like that there are so much things happening, you may want to pick and say, you know what, let's do on this server side. Let's do this thing. You can visualize, because you might be doing so much work that can be done offline. So this way you can do. When you do offline, two rules apply. Rule number one, from source, select rows which you really need. Don't just bring rows. Select the rows which you need. And the second thing, select the column which you only need. Don't bring thousands of columns and just select 2 columns. It's not going to be useful. So when you're getting like example, some of you know Oracle, right? You do select and you select star from EMP, right? From EMP. If you bring these, you're going to get everything. But what they are saying here, instead of star, maybe you can cherry pick that what you are interested in, let's say ID and let's say first name. From EMP where country equal to USA. So this way you are filtering. So that is very important. So try whatever you are doing here, can you offload that part? That's one. Second thing, when you are doing activity here, like example, simple example I'll give you. I want you to pay attention, okay? Otherwise you won't understand. Like this is my simple employee table. Check it out, okay? That might be too much. Class A, let's do class A. See what happened. Please understand. Class A, see what happened. Class A, and I double click here and I'll say first name. I press enter, okay? Then I right click and I remove it. See what happened? It removed. Then I say, you know what? I want to do something else. And I bring it back. Each steps are there. So sometimes we go back here, rename, and like I double click and I say last name. So now what happened? You are actually doing too many things. So this item will be like unnecessary reverting the work. So sometimes you need to think about, are we just doing steps? Sometimes you may not need the steps, just remove that step. So don't just add too many steps here, because these steps, every time when data refresh, this all steps will be applied. So example, if you have 5 table and each table has 10 steps, so you can see for 5 table, anytime you refresh the source data, this will apply. So if you add a new rows, this step will apply. So every time it applies, think about it, will slow down everything. So don't just add too many steps. Think about step which is needed. So example, I want to convert this guy uppercase, right? I want to convert this guy uppercase. So what I'm going to do, I click on that and go to transform, right? And, or I can right click here and I'll say transform and uppercase, right? I'm trying to transform uppercase. So now it is trying to do uppercase. So it will add a step here, insert. Now it transform. But if I can get this data from the source uppercase, then I don't have to transform. So don't do all activity in Power BI query. If you can do in source, that's another performance activity you do. So 2 steps. One is avoid the reload, and second is avoid bringing unnecessary rows and unnecessary column to process here. Now, at this moment, I just want to make sure you all are clear. Any questions so far? So far, so good. Now let me go back to our Power BI query homework. So in your Power BI query homework, whatever we have done, kind of I try to document here in our forum. This is what we talk about: pivot table, we talk about merge, we talk about append, and we talk about refresh. We just talk about today. We talk about M query. Now, this is your best practices. This is what you in interview will be very helpful. So how you do that? The more always you do at source level. Last thing you do is report level. So this is interview perspective. This is also tips, interview perspective like the. Now let's talk quickly quiz. Come on, fast. Which three table? Tell me.
Home, transform, add column.
Very good, man. You're awesome. Let's go next one.
Last one.
We did multiple times this thing today.
Last one.
Let's do it. So first of all,
well, it gives you an option to
sorry?
new columns or replace.
No, you yourself see that, Thomas. Check it out. So check it out. Thomas, last name is here. Okay. I'm going to do transform, right? In transform, I'm going to extract first character. And I'm going to do only one. See what will happen, Thomas. This is a column, transform, extract. What happened?
It replaced with the new values.
Awesome. So what is the correct answer?
Second.
Very good. See, now you are making sense here. Perfect. Let's go here.
So what is the one where it lets you do a new column?
No, this is not it doesn't give me option, right? Did it? When I did transform, it just replaced the column.
Add a
Right,
column.
there's some.
Add a column.
Sorry, this one? Which of the following date tool is only available in the transform tab?
Is it day?
Let's see here, transform tab. So first of all, this is our transform tab. So here, oh, sorry, my mistake. Transform tab. Now see here, which one is available here? So we are in transform. So here we have date. So in date, what is available?
Latest.
Latest. So we'll select latest. Date, latest. Okay. Next. We did that first exercise we did.
Index.
Very good.
Index.
Index. Awesome. Next one. In case if you forgot, I'll show you quickly. You just click here, right? Add column, right? Add column and just say index column. Boom. And it will do the insert 1, 2, 3, right? That's what we did. Sorry. Next one.
Group by.
Very good. Group by. Next one.
Pivoting.
Yeah. So this one, horizontal origin. So if you have this thing, like this one, right? So you can do
Unpivoting.
Yeah.
Unpivoting
actually. Okay. Next one. So out of these two,
append.
Append.
Existing table, append. Good job, guys. You guys are doing nice stuff so far. I showed you with example, okay? What happened if you later move that source file to new folder location, means delete basically.
Power BI would not recognize the new file path and the query would break.
Wonderful, wonderful, guys. You guys are doing great. Next one. I explained just now.
All queries will refresh.
Very good. Sorry, sorry, my mistake. All query will refresh. Why? Because it's all included, right? Next one.
All the information is preserved.
All informations. Whatever you come from Excel, everything will come along with that. Whenever you do, it will come along with that. Okay. So the reason I'm trying to do this type of quiz, because I want to make sure you are well prepared for the certification, because trust me, once you have a certification, it's easy to market yourself as a data analyst, right? Now, this is your small homework, guys, and I really need more homework, because my goal is in 5 weeks, you are getting closer to certificate. In 1 week, you prepare and go for certification. That's why I'm preparing week by week. So we are right now 2nd week, right? I hope you can see how much you are learning just 2 weeks time, right? We have a long run to go. However, homework is very simple. These are the question answers which you can answer. And you can see here, these are the transformations. I think everything should be in your head now because you already know. Download this file, play around this thing. If you have a question, we'll talk. Next week, we are going to do data model and I'll report. Don't worry about in case if you're not able to do all visualization. We have not done entire visualization yet. We have long run to go, because in order for me to do visualization, I need to clean the data first, then do data modeling, then visualization. So next, as we go further, we'll bring a good size of data and then we'll do that part. So we are 2nd week. We have a long run to go. Sounds good? That's all homework you have. Hardly it will take maybe 1 hour or 2 hours max. In a 1 week, please spend time and you will have a quiz coming to your way. So try your best. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. Any question, concern before we adjourn?
We'll have another quiz in the classroom.
Yeah. You will have a lot more. You are taking my class, my friend. I have to prepare you. No doubt about it. There will be a quiz coming to your way. This quiz may have additional question, because remember, we are very serious right now. There is no doubt. So you can do ChatGPT, you can do Google, whatever this is a piecemeal in the sense of whatever we have just studied, quiz is like that. So everything is faced, most likely you will be doing right, but you can also do open book type of thing. This is the way you prepare. Week by week, you get better, week by week. So last week, you just go for certification rather than you try to prepare for certification and spend a lot of time here. I would do piecemeal, week by week. Okay, this quiz is due by Sunday, I believe. So by Sunday, you should be submitting. Good?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but thank you. And I'll see you guys next class.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tushar.
Thank you, guys.